Good morning. I'm attorney Gary Finklea from the Finklea Law Firm in Florence, South Carolina. Today I wish to share with you something about two of my clients, Tom and Rebecca Fail. Last night, July 1st, their story was the subject of a news production by Heather Beyonce with WMBF News. You can view that production, which is almost 5 minutes long, at WMBF's website. WMBF.com. Their case, the Fails, is similar to a lot of the stories that I've been trying to share through these YouTube videos with borrowers who've been led astray and who've been victims of the lender's improper servicing of loans, particularly as it relates to modifications. The Fails particular situation is one of the worst that I've ever seen. In regard to their situation, first, they were served with a lawsuit. They did answer, although there were some issues along the way whether or not that answer was timely. They did eventually get a lawyer. That lawyer protected their rights in connection with the litigation process. Eventually the Fails came to me for assistance, and I assumed the defense. But what was unique about the Fails situation is that they had completed the required modification papers with Wells Fargo and simply never got a substantive response from anybody at Wells Fargo regarding their modification. The only response that the Fails received were 2 letters advising the Fails that they had been approved for modification. And at first glance you would think that's a good thing. I don't have their file notes in front of me, but as I recall, the first approval for modification was where they were approved for payments $80 and some change more than their base mortgage payments. Absolutely ridiculous. The second approved modification was $50 less than their regular payments. And of course, again, completely ridiculous. The Fail situation is particularly appropriate for modification because Miss Fail had a medical emergency. Through no fault of her own, she fell behind on her mortgage payments. It did take the Fails a little while to get disability insurance and payments coming in, but since then, they have been able to make, or would have been able to make, some reduced regularly scheduled monthly payments. Anyway, I invite you to visit the Fails story. Theirs is a lot like many others in this situation. What's different about their situation is they have a lot of equity in their home, and their home is worth saving, and I look forward to fighting for them and on their behalf with Wells Fargo. Unfortunately, the litigation process can be very costly, can be very stressful, and of course the Fails are seeing that firsthand, unfortunately. If Wells Fargo had only done what the second mortgage holder had done on the Fails loan, everyone's life would have been much easier. The second mortgage holder, which was a local credit union, when presented with the request to modify, immediately looked at the appropriate documentations and agreed to modify the second mortgage and reduce payments. Ever since then, the Fails have continually and timely paid those payments. So not only are the Fails repaying their debt, but the bank is getting paid as well. A good situation for everyone. In any event, I want to remind you that if you, your friends, family, relatives, anyone you know are facing mortgage foreclosure, don't fall victim to the false promises of the lender. If you are served with a summons and complaint, seek legal help immediately. You must answer your complaint within 30 days or else you are in default and oftentimes automatically lose. I met with a lady yesterday. I think she was in her 80s at least, and same situation with her. She fell victim to the false promises that the mortgage company would work with her, would do something for her after she had 2 very serious health conditions. But she's now facing the prospect of her home being sold on the courthouse steps in August of this year. Her situation, unlike the Fails, is that she is probably upside down in her home. In other words, she doesn't have equity. In any event, again, I remind you, if anyone needs legal assistance concerning this, please have them contact me at the Finklea Law Firm or some other attorney for legal representation. I can be reached at 317-4900 or by email at gfinkley@finklealaw.com. Please feel free to visit our website at finklealaw.com. Thank you very much.